The 2022 rainy season has come as a real shock to many countries in Africa. In Chad, it resulted in exceptionally devastating floods as the rains began earlier than usual and were the heaviest in decades. More than 1 million people were affected by the latest flooding. A state of emergency was declared in the first half of October. According to UN, 5.5 million people are in need of humanitarian emergency assistance. The World Bank states that almost half of the country's population is already living in poverty.
These are the consequences. People are out on the streets, and we don't even have a place to stay. We have no money, and all the food that we had is gone. So let them see how we live now.
We've been here for almost 5 days now. We are pouring earth into bags to make a dam that will keep the water from carrying away the Good Samaritan Hospital in Walia.
The situation at the end of rainy season was extremely difficult in neighboring Sudan as well.
There is no doctor, no clinic, no hospital nearby. There is not even a piece of bread for the children where they could share among themselves.
Now our houses are completely destroyed, and we need tents, blankets, clothes, and food in sufficient quantities for all those in need.
Large-scale flooding is displacing more and more people and making life more difficult for those already displaced by the catastrophic rains.
In the eastern part from the sea, there were many floods. In the northern and western parts, there were heavy rains and floods. We've already had a lot going on, but now we've lost everything. Some people can't find food for the day. Homes are destroyed. There are a lot of mosquitoes.
All children are sick now. We need mosquito nets, oilcloths, medicines, and food.
Nearly 350,000 people have been affected. Hundreds of deaths and injuries have been reported. In South Sudan, 2/3 of the country is underwater after record rains. People are working around the clock to hold back the water and prevent dams from collapsing. Rural communities cannot get food and other assistance because of impassable dirt roads and flooded airstrips. The UN Refugee Agency says that flood victims in South Sudan are in desperate need of international support. Some 2.5 million citizens are in need of humanitarian aid because of the worst floods in a decade devastating Nigeria. The climate is already causing irreparable damage to the economies of many countries. According to the report, The Future of Humanity, this trend will increase, reaching a planetary scale in the coming years. And only by joining efforts to build a creative society can we find effective solutions to these problems.